Good morning, children. How are you today? May the peace of the Lord be with you all and with your families. So, today I thought I would read you another story, a Bible story from my Children of God Bible Stories book. I've chosen one which really teaches us about self-belief. So I'm going to tell you the story of David and Goliath, and we'll have a little chat about it afterwards. So here's the story. God helps David defeat a giant. This is from chapter 1, the first book of Samuel, chapter 17. The Israelites were at war with the Philistines, whose leader was a giant named Goliath. "Send one man to fight me," he roared. "If he loses, the Israelites will be our slaves forever." The Israelites were terrified. No one could beat Goliath. David's father had sent him to take food to his brothers in the army. And when David heard Goliath's challenge, he said, "I will fight him." Everybody laughed. "You are just a boy," said King Saul, "and he is a great warrior." "I am only a shepherd," said David, "but whenever a lion took a lamb from my father's flock, I chased it and rescued the lamb from its mouth." Since no one else was willing to fight, Saul gave David his sword and shield, but they were too heavy for him. So David took just 5 smooth stones from the river and his trusty slingshot. "Come here, boy," Goliath said as he drew his sword. "I'll slice you in half and leave your body for the vultures." "You come with a sword," David replied, "but I come with God on my side." David put a stone in his sling, swung it around and let it fly. The stone struck Goliath on his forehead, and the giant fell down dead. All the other Philistines gasped and ran away in fear. Many years later, when David became king, the people remembered his bravery in fighting the giant. So everybody loves an underdog story, and this is really the origins of all the underdog stories. And what we mean by underdog is somebody who you wouldn't expect to win wins the battle. And this one's talking about, an old-fashioned fight to the death. That's not the kind of battle that we face in our lives nowadays. Very few of us will ever have to go out to war unless we decided to join the army. That wouldn't be something that happened to people in their everyday lives. But in Bible times, fights like that were very common. And usually the biggest, strongest person won. And this is a really good example of making clever choices, making sure God is on your side, but really just about being brave. And the message that this story should give us in our lives today isn't that we need to go out and try and kill people, but it's to do what we can to do our bit. So everybody didn't think that David would be able to do anything useful. They all said, "Oh, you're just a boy, you can't do anything." And I bet there's times in your life where you felt like, "Oh, I can't do anything, it's just me, I'm too small, or I'm too this, or I'm too that." I've certainly had lots of thoughts like this, especially during lockdown. "Oh, I can't do this, I can't do that." But there's so many things that we can do. Even from our homes, there's still huge differences we can make. So the biggest difference we can all make now is staying home to help stop the spread of coronavirus, like we all have been doing to stay safe. We can do our bit for the environment by looking at the things that we're throwing in the bin. Is there anything that we could sort out into the recycling bin and put in there instead? We can do things like going for a walk instead of using our car. So perhaps if you need to go to the shops with your parents, if it's close enough, maybe you could walk. It would depend on how much. If you've got a lot of heavy shopping, you might not be able to do that. But certainly when they start to lift the lockdown and we can start thinking about things that we want to do, maybe using bikes instead of cars, or public transport instead of cars, that could be something we can look forward to when those things, we're able to use those things again. There's so many things that you can do, just you. So the message of this story is, whoever you are, be brave. You can defeat Goliath. We can all defeat coronavirus if we work together. We can all make a better world for us for tomorrow if we do things like recycling, be more responsible with the way we live our lives. If we all do that together, then we can overcome all these problems that people keep talking about at the moment. So we're going to finish with a prayer. Really simple prayer today. So just sit still. Close your eyes if you'd like to. Put your hands together if you'd like to, but just reflective for your prayer now. Dear Lord, help us to remember that we are all individuals and we are all blessed with the gifts that we are blessed with from you. Help us to be brave and to do our bit. Help us in this time of lockdown to keep positive, to try our best with the things that we are able to do. And we all look forward to being together again when we are able to. Amen. So children, I hope you have a lovely day. Tomorrow is the VE Day celebration day, special bank holiday for that. So if you're celebrating at home with your families, I hope you have a lovely time. There's some activities and a special VE Day poster blog that Miss Houseship has created for us. So make sure you check out the blogs tomorrow if you want something VE Day related to do. There'll be plenty on there. But other than that, stay safe and I look forward to seeing you all soon. Take care. Bye bye.